Okay, so this is a setup to bench bleed your Clutch Master Cylinder, because if you're installing a new one, it's very difficult to get the air out of there just by trying to bleed the clutch by pumping the pedal. So basically what I've done is I've mounted the new Clutch Master Cylinder into a vise, and at the spot where the line would go in, I put a brake line fitting, and then it's got a small black adapter that fits in here, and then this tube is going to go back into the reservoir, and that's going to recirculate the fluid. So I've now filled up the reservoir with fluid, and this is silicone brake fluid. It's .5, and you can see a few bubbles percolating back into the cylinder. But basically, when the difference between having it on a bench is that this rod, you can get this to go the full length of travel to bottom out the piston to get all the air out of there, and you can't do that with it in the car because you won't have enough travel. So what you're going to see, or what you should hopefully see as I pump in the Clutch Master, is you're going to see the air coming out of the outlet. There, see it coming out the bottom, and then it's gonna go back into the reservoir and rise to the top. Hopefully, when you let it out, you can see some of the air is getting pulled back in, and there is a trick there, is to keep your hose as short as possible to keep that air from getting pulled back into the Clutch Master. The other way to do it is just to put this hose into a jar and, basically then you're not recirculating the fluid. And I may do it that way because it looks like the bubbles are just going back in. But you should be eventually able to get all the air out of the Clutch Master this way. But I may just try using a bleeder jar. The advantage of recycling is it doesn't waste any fluid, and you can eventually get all the air out when you have a new cylinder. You can see a lot of the air is coming up to the top now, but there's also small air bubbles in here